Welcome to Prevent Your Adventure, and I went to a place not on my list, but let me explain why. It's a Sunday in July. It's been pouring rain. We had a tornado watch for a while, and it's just dark and gloomy, and I knew there would be puddles on secondary roads, so I tried to find something that was not much, but just highway driving and not much else. And so I ended up in the Taftville section of Norwich, Connecticut at Manny's Pizza. Been here about 20 years. And let me show you what I got. You're going to be so not surprised. Got meatballs, fried dough. I wasn't expecting a huge fried dough like that, but that's cool. And of course, the pepperoni pizza. So let me set up the camera and we'll dig right in. All right. There's no avoiding this. This thing is covered in sugar and cinnamon and whatever else. So this is going to get on me. Nice and fresh, warm. That's like the fried dough you get at the fairs. All right, good solid meatball. Trying to cut through it with just a fork. And got it done. Now, on their menu, it says baked meatball, so I know what I was expecting coming in, but this is pretty good. It's like it's had a chance to absorb some sauce into it. All right. Pretty sure this is a Greek style. It's not, the crust, the heel is not as big as a typical Greek, but yeah, that's Greek. Nice crust. No, there's really no crisp going on. It's got enough nice bottom to it to hold it together nicely. A lot of cheese. It's not overpowering, but a lot. So I'm just trying to get a taste of the sauce here. It's good. I just sitting here, I don't know what to say. Let me eat. Come back and tell you what I think. All right, let's wrap it up here at Manny's Pizza and More at in Taftville, Connecticut, part of Norwich. Having some flashbacks because way back when I was 16, 17, maybe 18. And I was working for my father at his grocery store. This is back in the mid-70s. early, well, I got my license in 73. So there were no big grocery stores, at least anywhere close to this area where we were back then, and bakeries, as far as I know, hadn't shown up in grocery stores yet. So I don't know who came up with this idea, but right across the street from Manny's is a place, and someone sent me a message about going there for a grinder. Vacatura's Bakery. And every Sunday, my job was, the store opened at 9 on Sundays. I think we weren't supposed to be open on Sundays, but we were anyhow. But anyhow, it was back in the Blue Laws days. Every Sunday morning, I had to get up and take my father's car over here to Vacatura's Bakery. It's about 26 miles maybe from home, I'm not sure. And I would load up with fresh Italian bread and fresh Italian grinder rolls and other rolls and all stuff. Literally, as I was walking in to get it, they were taking it out of the oven. And he had a, very large Chevy Impala. And it filled up the back seat and it filled up the trunk. And my job was to get it back to the store for opening, which sometimes didn't happen because I had to wait a little while for the bread, but I was pretty close. One of my trips back then the speed limit was 55. I was trying to make up some time. Never a good idea. Sunday morning, no one on the road, 395. I got pulled over for doing 91 and a 55. So here I am. I'm doing my throwback story before I even tell you anything about the restaurant. I apologize. I'm going to stop right there and come back to that. So let's talk about the food. I just got to thinking about vacatures. So meatballs were good. To me, strangely, the outsides were beautifully baked, but the inside, the very inside, was a little on the mushy side. I really liked the marinara. It came with a piece of bread, and I used all that up, just scooping up the sauce. I liked the fried dough. Like I said, throwback to the fair days for me. Some people probably still go, not me too much. And I don't know, everyone's fairs are different depending where you're at. And the pizza was good. Nice crust, not a great crust, but a nice crust. Nice sauce, a little more cheese than I would have liked, nice pepperoni. But overall, really, really good. By the way, the place has been here for 20 years. I didn't give you a picture of it because I'm sitting in the back. There's no parking anywhere near the front, so I can show you what it looked like. And before it became Manny's 20 years ago, it was a KFC, I think. Like I said, 50 years ago, I was driving by out here. So anyhow, nice people inside. There's people with a baby visiting. I don't know if they were relatives to the owners or something, but they all seemed to know each other very well. And that was pretty wild going on in there. So good food, good people. I used to work with a guy that raved about this place. They make a potato pizza that he just used to rave about, but it's like with slices of potatoes on it. I don't know. I eat potatoes. I should try it sometime. Anyhow, so let's give it a score, 0 to 10. I'm going to go 7.9. It was good. It was, they did it well. Nice food, nice meal. So 7.9, Manny's Pizza and More, Taftville section of Norwich, Connecticut. All right, so let's go back to the story. I got pulled over for doing 91 and a 55. My father was not happy. My mother was, you knew it was going to happen. And so once he found out she was not upset, he got better about it too. I think he was more worried about how she was going to handle it. So 91 and a 55, had to go to court. My father had to go with me. He was not pleased about that because I was underage, under 18. And everyone else was getting $10, $15, $20 fines, and I got a $50 fine. Little on the heavy side for back then. Doesn't sound like much now. Let me give you another story, and then we'll put this money into perspective. Because I used to come here all the time, every Sunday, to Vacaturas across the street, as I was leaving to go back to 395, there was a big field up there, and one week they were advertising a carnival of sorts. I don't know exactly what it was. I don't remember much about it because this was, once again, over 50 years ago. And I was sort of dating a girl who did not end up being my wife. And so we decided to come, and I had some friends who decided to come, but they brought their own car. And so there's probably 6 of us walking around in this carnival. And it was mostly like some rides, bunch of games that rip you off, and I don't remember much else. I really don't. But I was trying to, being this guy, win the girl some kind of stuffed animal or something, playing this game. And I still remember this. It had like a bowling pin and then a ball on a chain that swung. And you had to swing it out, and then when it came back, you had to knock over the pin, and if you could do that, you won. And the guy said, this is how you do it, and he'd do it, and he made it look so easy. So I'm trying to impress this girl, so I keep plopping down money. And I want to point out that the minimum wage at that time was $1.62. And this was before I bought my brand new car for $3,850. So money back then, when I tell you it was $50 for that fine, that was a lot of money. Think about that. That's 25 hours, more than 25 hours of work to pay for that fine. Ended up winning nothing. I still remember this. Dropped $22 on this game. The guy must have been laughing to himself on the inside. Thinking, man, I got one here. But I still remember that carnival of sorts. I don't know if we did anything else. Maybe tried a couple other games. I don't know. I don't know if we went on any rides or not. They said it was a long time ago. But just being in this area kind of reminds me of all that. So, $50 on a speeding ticket, even though I was driving for the store, came out of my pocket because I was the one driving. And I still remember the speeding ticket came when I had, it was like a year later, when I had my girlfriend who went on to become my wife, and they used to post all that in the paper, and I still remember I was being told that her grandmother just didn't understand why my fine was so much more than anyone else's in the paper, so they tried to explain it to her. Anyhow, there's my story. There's my revelations, another part of my past. By the way, that Chevy had a nice big 350 in it. It could move pretty nicely. So, yep. 91 and a 55. I think that was my first and last speeding ticket. Anyhow, Manny's Pizza and more, Taftville, Connecticut, 7.9.